What's up guys, James Graves here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make your own unique pouch for your lens filters using just a few cheap, easy to use tools and some inexpensive but high quality material that's going to make sure that your case lasts you a lifetime. Now the only tools that you're going to need for this project are a sharp knife. You can get rotary cutting tools or knives specifically designed for leather, but if you don't have access to these, you can use whatever sharp knife you have available to you. You'll also need a straight edge, some thread and needles designed for leather, and you'll also need a thread hole punch and a hammer. A plastic mallet would be better than a metal one like mine, but I'd recommend just using whatever you have. You can buy all these tools together in a cheap starter kit through Amazon, which I'll be sure to link below. And while not entirely necessary, it will help if you have some kind of contact adhesive. I'm using a water-based contact adhesive designed specifically for leather, but you can also just buy small tubes of this in any standard DIY store or on Amazon for just a few pounds. Now for your material, you're going to need a piece of leather at least 12 inches long by 4.5 inches wide. I'll link the one I'm using in the description below. And you'll also need some kind of soft lining to protect your lenses. I'm using a natural lambskin. You can get this from any leather supplier, or in fact this one I'm using here is just a piece of chamois that you would usually buy for drying your car. Just be aware that there are a couple of drawbacks to buying it this way. Firstly, some manufacturers like to treat this chamois with fish oil as a cheap way of softening it, and trust me, getting rid of that smell is not a very fun experience. As well as that, you'll probably find that a chamois isn't as high quality as the pelts that you buy from a supplier, and the chamois will usually be the second, so they might have marks or scuffs. But believe me, for what we're doing, it's good enough, and it's a convenient and easy way of purchasing the material we need to complete this project. You'll also need some leather cord. This can be bought really cheap on its own, or more often than not, if you order your leather through Amazon, it actually comes with it for free. First, cut your leather to the outer line on the template that I provided in the description below. This will be the outer part of our filter case. To make the soft lining to protect the filters, cut out a piece of lambskin to the size of your leather. Then apply contact adhesive to the outer edges of your leather and liner and carefully glue them together. Just be sure to read the instructions on the adhesive that you're using, because it usually needs 5 or 10 minutes to go off a little bit. Just be really careful that you've lined up the pieces together before you stick them, because once that adhesive touches, it's extremely difficult to get off. Now cut out 2 more sections of your liner using the pocket template provided. You can then glue these onto your liner in the position shown on the template. If you're wondering why I'm not using a template in this video, that's because I hadn't finalized the dimensions yet. This was actually my first time building this, and I was just kind of working it out as I went along. Now is the time to cut everything down to the inner border line on your template. The purpose of this is to give you perfect, clean edges all the way around without any further finishing required. Here I'm finishing the corners with my Japanese skiving knife, but as before, feel free to use whatever you have available. Now it's looking pretty good, so it's time to sew everything together. Using the stitch lines on your template, or a wing divider if you have one, mark out your stitch line and punch in the holes for your stitches. Then sew everything together. I'm using a saddle stitch, which is extremely strong and can be done easily with just 2 needles and some thread. I'm not going to go into the specifics of how to saddle stitch in this video, because there's plenty of other videos on YouTube that explain it probably much better than I can, so I'd recommend going and watching one of those. Honestly, it's a really easy stitch to learn, and it just takes a few minutes. Remember to do the same with the lower edge of the top pocket. Again, marking out your line, stamping the holes, and stitching everything together. This step is entirely optional, but I personally like to hammer down my stitches just to tidy them up a little bit. Once you're finished stitching, use a soft butter knife or something similarly blunt to release the inners of the pockets up to the stitches where any excess glue might have built up. Now you can finally check the sizing with your largest filters. The ones I'm using are 82mm, so whatever you have should fit just fine. Now it's time to finish up and add something to be able to close our pouch. There are loads of different types of clips and clasps and buckles and magnets and all sorts of things available on the market that you can use, but I'm just going to be going with the tried and true cord wrap for a little more rustic appeal. If you don't have cord, you can cut some strips of the leather that you started with. To add this on, simply cut out the strap hole marked on your template, and then doubling up your chosen cord, push it in and loop it back through itself. Now you have a simple cord wrap. Okay guys, that's it from me today. Nice simple project, really easy to do, and in my opinion you get a really nice result out of it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and even share this with family or friends or people that might want to make this project for themselves. It's been great hanging out with you guys again, and I hope to see you all in the next week. Take care of yourselves.